The Star Wars sequel trilogy. Where to begin? Okay. The Force Awakens. Trash. I thought it would be good. I wanted it to be good. I liked it until The Last Jedi came out. Last Jedi put a bad taste in my mouth, and since I knew what came after 7, I didn't like it even more. Han Solo's death, trash. Didn't need to be done until... I mean, I can say that it didn't need to be done at all, but they could have at least held it off until Episode 8. Or had Luke Skywalker in Episode 7 and actually had him say something rather than just... And Rey. Where to begin with Rey? Boring. I mean, she was kind of fun in Episode 7. But I mean, I don't even like saying these things. Like, I like giving credit where credit's due, but it's hard to do that with the sequel trilogy, even if there is good things about it. Like, in my opinion, Kylo Ren, I really like Kylo Ren. But I still kind of hold that back a little bit because Kylo Ren shouldn't even really be a character, and neither should Rey or Finn or any of these other characters that are pretty trash, because I know for a fact that George Lucas did not create these characters. Absolutely not. These characters were absolutely not in his outlines that he ended up selling to Disney, which they only, for those who don't know, I mean, I've whined about it quite a bit on here, but for those of you that don't know, George Lucas, before he sold Lucasfilm, he ended up handing Bob Iger, the head of Disney, and a couple other people from Disney, his outlines for the sequel trilogy, as well as some other side movies and side projects. At least I think the side projects were a thing. If I'm remembering that right. I'm pretty sure it was, though. But even if it wasn't, still, it doesn't matter, because these are the main 3 films in that Disney's been doing. But they only wanted to buy his outlines to give him confidence in his decision to sell Lucasfilm. That's the only reason why they bought him. They trashed him directly after, because they had no intentions whatsoever on using him. And it's just trash. And I mean, the way George Lucas kind of has been feeling this entire time, it just sucks. It really does. But anyway, I'm gonna not get so deep into it. I'm just gonna throw my opinion out there that The Force Awakens, I liked it, but it's hard to say I like it because it's not George Lucas's vision, and George Lucas's vision is what Star Wars is. If it comes from someone else's mind, it's not necessarily Star Wars, in my opinion. And but when it comes to like novels and stuff like that, or comics, and someone else writes them and it's not George Lucas, I mean, George Lucas still has to, approve of it and be like, hey, I like this story, let's go with it. So then, I mean, it may not be George's story, but he's approved of it, so it technically is. So those are totally fine. But the thing is that Disney didn't use... They didn't really even... He couldn't say anything about it. And when he did, he said he sold the company to white slavers, then he kind of got in trouble for that, because he was in a handshake agreement that he couldn't. And at least I believe it was a handshake agreement. I know there was some form of handshake agreement that had to do with about Disney not having to use his outlines. They were like, we're going to buy them, but we don't have to use everything from them. And the funny thing about that, like I said before, they were just trying to get him to... They basically lied. In fact, no, they didn't basically lie to his face. They definitely lied to his face just to get him to be able to sell Lucasfilm. And there's a video of Kathleen Kennedy talking to George Lucas about respecting the characters and keeping the characters the way that George Lucas created them, and making sure that they continue to live in the way that he created them. And it's such a joke. It's such a joke! It's such a joke! Because if you look at Kathleen Kennedy's stupid plastic surgery face, she's lying straight to her teeth. Like, she has the worst poker face I think I've ever seen. And that's something that I feel like I should have seen coming. Because, I mean, that is the worst poker face I've ever seen. And the fact that I didn't even see that back when that video first came out kind of aggravates me a bit. Because, I mean, this entire time I've been kind of hopeful about Star Wars. And, I mean, even after The Last Jedi, I was really disappointed with The Last Jedi. I mean, not at first. Technically, kind of. Because with The Last Jedi, I really wanted to like it, so I kind of went around pretending like I liked it, because I wanted to like it. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that are like that. I know one or two of the guys from Geeks and Gamers on YouTube and some other people that I know of feel that same way, that they wanted to like The Last Jedi, but at least I think it was. Some people wanted to like The Last Jedi. I think Jeremy was one of them, but people wanted to like The Last Jedi, including me, but it just wasn't good. Every single time I went back and watched it in theaters wanting to like it, I just found more and more reasons not to. And it was really heartbreaking. It really was, because Star Wars means so much to me. I mean, I ended up getting it tattooed on me, so I mean, it's not really like I wouldn't have got it tattooed on me if I didn't care about it that much. So, and I like tattoos, but I mean, I wouldn't get them unless it was something that I really, really, really care about. And Star Wars and family for me is the biggest part. Family, Star Wars. Those are the things that mean the most to me. But if I had to add a third, of course, friends. But it's just, but then of course, I mean, Rogue One, as much as I really, really hate the fact that they didn't use George's outlines, it doesn't bother me near as much with the Star Wars story films than it does with the main three, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker. Because I'm pretty sure Rise of Skywalker is going to be bad. I mean, I'm walking into it with the lowest of expectations. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll come out with a happy face, but I mean, I doubt it, because I mean, knowing that, I mean, it could definitely be better than the last two because they brought in George Lucas, which they should have done from the beginning, and they should have had him watching over the whole thing and made sure they listened to him, because he's a genius. But I mean, for those of you who don't know as well, the Star Wars prequels are my favorite Star Wars films. I love those films to death. I grew up on those films. But growing up on those films isn't the only reason why I like them the most. I just genuinely think they're the best films. And for me, Revenge of the Sith is the greatest film ever made. No one will change my mind. And I love the original trilogy to death. Absolutely love it. But this sequel trilogy is such a disaster. It makes no sense. I mean, how Finn and Rose get from all the way across the battlefield on Crate back to the Rebels with those AT-ATs. I mean, this is something that so many other people have pointed out and have talked about. It doesn't make any sense. It's so inconsistent. It doesn't work. And that's exactly how the entirety of the trilogy is. I mean, Force Awakens, I was going to be willing to accept The Force Awakens if The Last Jedi was really, really good, and it ended up explaining a lot of the things from The Force Awakens, which it absolutely didn't. It didn't explain anything. It just tried to steer away from what Episode 7 was doing. I mean, Rian Johnson's he's just a coward. He's a scumbag and a coward. and he has no idea what Star Wars is. He has no idea what Star Wars is. I mean, he's even so bad to the point where he even knew that Rose was not a Star Wars character and not a character that sounded like she would be from Star Wars, and he still put her in Star Wars anyway. It's that bad. He's that bad. And even at some point, if you don't know already, which you probably do, there was a video on YouTube somewhere, or just somewhere on the internet. I'm sure if you looked it up, you'd be able to find it really easily. But Rian Johnson, it's this low quality video. Rian Johnson, back years and years ago, he basically said that the way he likes to make movies is to split people's views on it. He wants half people to like it, half people to hate it. And that's exactly what he did with The Last Jedi. I mean, how Disney and Lucasfilm didn't see this coming blows my mind. Or, actually, I feel like they definitely did see it coming, but they're just stupid. I mean, there's no other way to put it. They're stupid. Bob Iger, Kathleen Kennedy, all of them, stupid. Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams, stupid, all of them. I don't care. Because while I kind of like, I hate saying that, while I kind of like The Force Awakens, I hate saying that, and I like JJ's directing. Again, I don't like saying that, but I like to give credit where credit's due. It's so disappointing that he calls himself a Star Wars fan, but he calls himself a Star Wars fan, but he couldn't even try to tell Disney that maybe using his outlines was a good idea. It's an absolutely terrible idea to just throw them in the trash, especially after you straight up lied to his face. It makes no sense to me why they would do that. Although it does make perfect sense because, I mean, they've proven just day after day how ridiculous their brains don't work. Like, it's just so much bad and so little time. It's just, I'm hoping that I'll see the day that Star Wars comes back and George Lucas is on top of it again, and he's, they're using his stories. I hope I see that day again, but the way it's looking right now, that's not going to happen. I'm excited for the Clone Wars. I'm really excited for the Clone Wars Season 7, but who isn't? There's really no way you can mess that up. Although, that's what I said about Star Wars, and look, here we are. There's really no way to mess up Star Wars, but they've somehow managed to do it. I mean, it's just, I don't have too much more to say. I mean, Rogue One, I don't really care about those movies as much as I do the main numbered Star Wars films. But Rogue One I actually really enjoyed. I think of it more as a celebration of the original trilogy, and I really love the original trilogy. So, in my eyes, it's pretty good. And while I can see that there was a bit of a feminist social justice agenda thrown in there, it wasn't big enough to the point where it bothered me. Not even Rey really bothered me much in Force Awakens. It was Last Jedi when that stuff really started sticking out. And then I looked back at The Force Awakens and realized that they were setting that up for her to be an absolute god in comparison to even Luke Skywalker. But Luke Skywalker got ruined. Han Solo got ruined. Leia kind of got ruined because of the flying thing. Because it's just a bad scene. It's super cheesy, and it's honestly disrespectful. It really is. It's really disrespectful to Carrie Fisher because it's a joke. That scene is a complete joke, and it made me. When I first saw it, I was lost for words. Really, there was a lot of people in my theater, at least, that laughed when that scene came on. But me, I was just, I didn't know what to say. That one scene was something that I did walk out of The Last Jedi the first time I saw it and absolutely despised. And Canto Bight, that was something I didn't like either, but I was willing to get past it because I thought I ended up really liking the movie, the rest of it. And then I watched it more and more and more, and I saw the more and more flaws and what they were trying to do with the film. And the plot is just so boring. I mean, a slow motion car chase is basically what it is. And then there's a couple side things that are still boring. Finn almost had great character development, and he almost was a great character, but Rose dragged Finn down with her with the Canto Bight scenes. But with the sacrifice that Finn was going to make, that would have been such a huge moment for Finn, and it was a huge moment for Finn, until Rose came out of nowhere just looking like she has something that she needs to release, like in the toilet. She makes that face, and she's going like all psycho towards Finn, and somehow thinks it's a good idea to ram into him in really fast-moving vehicles. I mean, he was making a sacrifice to save everybody. That was his choice to make, not hers. And the fact that either of them survived that was ridiculous. And even more ridiculous is how they get back to where the rebels are, or the resistance. Rey's training scene is bad. I've made a video on YouTube, but I'm not going to link it because I pretty much did exactly what she does in the film, and it's just bad. Her stance is awful. You could easily knock her over. She has no... I've been really off to the right, haven't I? I'm going to kind of center myself. It's these bins. But, I liked Force Awakens when that first came out. I don't like it now, for good reasons, which I've already listed off a bunch of them here. I despise The Last Jedi. I absolutely hate it. Rogue One, I like it. I don't necessarily like saying that I do, but I do. I really do. It's a great film.
No, it's not. Stop lying.
Solo. If they just didn't put that stupid L3 character in there, that social justice character, if they wouldn't have put her in there and none of that other stupid trash that she was involved in, that movie would have been great. But L3 dragged that movie down really hard. It's still a fun watch. I can still sit down and watch it, but I have to be in a certain mood. It's a fun movie, but there's just parts in it where sometimes I have to pause and I have to go take a leak because it's so bad that I just don't want to, that I need a break. So a lot of the time when I take a pee break, I'll try to skip over those scenes by going and doing that. But then there's the Rise of Skywalker coming out, and I have very, very strong feeling that they're only bringing Anakin Skywalker into the film to put butts in seats, which is what they've done with all of the original trilogy characters so far, just to get butts in seats. And then they completely disrespect him in the film. So I feel like that they're going to do that with both Anakin and Hayden, Hayden. Because he is Anakin, duh. And Ian McDiarmid, Palpatine. I know they're going to be in the film. It's pretty obvious at this point. Especially because they ended up getting pulled from FanX for spoilers, even though Disney basically spoiled it themselves by doing it, so that's by pulling them out, so it's ironic. But what else am I going to say? It's just, I kind of lost my train of thought a little bit because my mind is just so scrammed. Wait, no, I'm good. I'm back on track. Okay, so they're going to disrespect Anakin. They're going to disrespect Palpatine. That's what I think. Any character that they bring back, they're going to disrespect. And even if they don't disrespect them, they've done, all the damage has already been done. And there's really no way to repair it. It's just, it's unfixable. It's like let's say a graham cracker breaks. You can't fix a graham cracker when it breaks. You just can't. I mean, you could glue it or something like that, but it's not the same graham cracker. You can't seamlessly fix it. I mean, you can totally put the graham cracker back together, set it on the table, but even then, you pick it up and it's still broken. You look at it and you can tell that it's still broken. That's the thing with the sequel trilogy. They've broken it, and no matter how much fixing they try to do, it's still going to be broken. It's still going to be inconsistent. It's still going to be full of feminist agenda and social justice agenda. I just hope The Mandalorian's good. I have really high hopes for Mandalorian, and I have high hopes for Kenobi. And obviously I have high hopes for the Clone Wars. I genuinely think they can't mess the Clone Wars up. But then again, like I said before, I thought that with Star Wars in general, but they were able to do it. But with me, I like to separate Star Wars and Disney Star Wars into their own categories. Here, you got the Star Wars timeline. Here, you got the Disney Star Wars timeline. You got episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Clone Wars. I don't absolutely hate everything from Rebels, so I guess a lot of the stuff, mainly with like Ahsoka and Vader from Rebels. In fact, I actually really like Rebels, but it is a Disney Star Wars thing, so I guess I gotta put it over in the Disney Star Wars section, even though I kind of want to put it over in the Star Wars section, but I think I'm willing to put Rogue One there. I'm definitely willing to put Rogue One in the Star Wars section, but...
Stop it. You watch your mouth.
I mean, I like to separate my canon, and which is pretty much, for the most part, George Lucas's real canon, because whatever George Lucas says canon is canon. Disney can't change it. The expanded universe is canon. No one can change that. I mean, I completely get why they would use new characters and use all this new stuff for the sequel trilogy and new stories, because they don't want to, because they don't want people to know what's going to happen next in the next film. They don't want people to know what's going to happen by reading books. That's completely understandable. They want people to be surprised. But I'm pretty sure George's outlines were his own thing. I'm positive that they were. I mean, they were going heavily into the wills, and if you don't know what the wills are basically the Force. I mean, you can do more research on that if you're interested, but I've been going on for like 23 minutes now, and I want to play some Battlefront 2 and do nothing all day. But I mean, what else can I say? It's bad. It's really bad, and I really want it to be good for the future, but I don't think it's going to be. But hopefully they can prove me wrong. I want to be proven wrong. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind it being just continue to die, because it's blowing up in their face, and I kind of think it's kind of funny, because it is. But I mean, I really have nothing else to say. I mean, I could pick out all the scenes from The Last Jedi and all the other movies, and I can nitpick all the things that I absolutely despise about it, even though it's not necessarily nitpicking, because these are glaring issues, like the fight in the throne room. But I mean, these are things that everybody already knows about if they don't like the film, so I don't think I really need to talk about it. If it's something that you think is bad from these movies, I'm probably going to think the same thing, because I absolutely despise these movies. But to end it on a positive note, the Star Wars prequels are amazing, so you have those to watch. You have the original trilogy, those are amazing. You have those to watch. You have an entire Clone Wars series. You have Rebels. You have Rogue One. And you have, what else? You have the Ewok movies. Those are better than any of the Disney films that they've done. Except for Rogue One, because I like that movie.
No, you don't.
But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. You still have a lot of other Star Wars movies to watch, a lot of Star Wars shows to watch that are really, really good. And you got a ton of books. I mean, the expanded universe is absolutely incredible. Personally, I don't really read. Yep. I don't read. I don't read. I definitely don't. So I don't really open up the books and do that myself. I'll go on YouTube and I'll have someone else. I'll do like an audiobook or something like that. I don't know. Something similar, or maybe like a Star Wars theory video, but I don't know. Or maybe like a Star Wars comics video, but anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. Disney, trash. Kathleen Kennedy, trash. JJ, trash. Ryan, trash. Bob Iger, extreme trash. And actually, I'm going to put Ryan Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy up with extreme trash, and JJ. All of them are bad. I despise all of them. And I said I'm going to end on a positive note, but with this stuff going through my brain, I might have a mental breakdown. I mean, I'm going to... For those of you that haven't seen Joker, spoiler alert, he gets into a fridge at some point in the movie and just locks himself in a fridge. There's a freezer right here, and I'm considering crawling into it because this sequel trilogy is that bad. Although, if I isolated myself in there, it would just be me and my brain, and that's never good. That's never good, because usually me and my brain can't stop thinking about how bad the sequel trilogy is, so it might honestly make it worse. But I mean, whatever. Whatever. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad!
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell.